Hello everybody, this is my first video ever. I'm going to try to repair my buddy's Line 6 Relay G30. This is the transmitter unit, and the problem is it'll switch on but not stay on. And if you can get the switch about like halfway or something, it'll work. And I know some people have had battery compartment issues. I wonder if that couldn't be part of it. As you see, as I flip the switch, we get a blink of the lights. There we go. And right now the switch is not fully engaged. It's somewhere in between. You get some flashes and stuff. Now it's staying on. Doesn't seem like the battery compartment is cutting it out. But again, the switch isn't fully engaged. If we fully turn it off and then on, we get nothing. If we move it around, we get it. So it seems like a bit of a weird contact in there. And what I'm hoping is cleaning it, or really just generally messing with it, can fix a lot of things. So let's generally mess with it. Number one, I have no idea how this thing comes apart. It might pop off at the sides. There's no obvious screws, and there's this giant rubber piece. So that could be something, but it looks like we can remove the clip to start with. Possibly. That's definitely on there, but I think that could help. Okay. Clip doesn't want to go. So, yeah. You know, this thing may just open up like a lot of electronics do, where you just gotta pry the seam. I'm trying to see if there's anything that would stop us from doing that. It looks like the seam is clear around. We got the battery compartment. We're going to go ahead and remove the batteries. Looks like these are regular Duracells, so he's not using rechargeables. Some people have said that rechargeables fit in here differently. People have had fitment issues with the battery door and rechargeables. I don't know that. That's just like third-hand information I'm passing along to you, but something to note maybe. So we got the two Duracells. And, yeah. I think I got a guitar pick or something around here to see about prying this. It seems like it starts to separate there. I can see part of the board here. It's taped over there. Let's see. I'll grab a guitar pick real quick, see what I can do. Good old trusty Dunlop. I have a thicker one somewhere. That might be the way. We'll try with the Dunlop real quick. Get a little more view of what we got going on here. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing started on a seam here. Unfortunately, I don't have any legit pry tools or anything yet, so Dunlop it is. Let me grab a rubber hammer here. Might look like overkill, but I'm just looking to give it a little tap. try to get that separation. Get it in there a little bit more. Don't know if that had a big effect. And honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just winging it. I'm just now getting into tech repair, so I don't know a lot, but giving it a shot. So that's got a bit of a break in it, but it doesn't look like there's a clip there. In my limited experience, I've noticed a lot of these things have clips that you have to disengage. Getting under here could be something. I don't want to just rip this unit apart, so I'm trying to just sort of poke and prod, see what I can figure out. There's no obvious outside screws that I can find. I looked at it earlier. Take a look down in the battery case. There's not a whole lot. Feeling these stickers, it doesn't feel, maybe. Could be a screw behind that. But no, this is possible under the serial number here. I may feel a screw in here. So if I was doing this properly, I would use a heat gun to heat this adhesive a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I do have some iFixit ESD safe tweezers. You know how you gotta be safe out there from the static discharge. All discharges, really. Just trying to get this started. If I can replace this on here, I'd like to. I don't think Nick cares, but I'll give it a shot. Starting to get a little bit of movement there. Ah, we got a tear. Alright. I'm very surprised. The clip looks like it would slide off. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not. Let's see. Does my camera focus correctly or not? Have you on continuous. I don't know if it'll focus that close, but in here you could see there's two holes, and it kind of slides down sort of like some picture frames do. I felt like I could just move it down, maybe get a little movement going. Give it a bit of a wiggle maybe. That is something important we want to make sure we have intact. So let me see. And we got it. Rubber hammer, no damage. You can kind of see the slots to where it'll go in and slide. So that's what I was doing here. And it looks like you can put it on either one. These all look pretty identical. And we've exposed one small screw here. It's hard to believe that would hold this whole thing together. So I'm really thinking this label has got to be, it's got to be looked at. I don't have a heat gun or anything. I don't know if rubbing a little bit of body heat on there will do anything, but we'll give it a second, see what that does. Again, I'm new to tech repair. I find this stuff fun. With the malfunctions of this unit, he wasn't going to be able to use it. And I volunteered to try to fix it with the caveat that I may destroy it and it may never be the same again. And he was cool with that, so I'm happy to have something to practice and learn on, and he's happy to possibly have a fix for this thing. The fact that it powers on, the switch does things, that gives me some hope. But we got to get it open first. And the more I rub this, the more I feel there's a screw there, about the size of this one. So let's see if that was enough to get this adhesive loosened. Try to get this started somewhat. All right, it's lifting up. What I'm doing here is just keeping pressure on the tip of the guitar pick and pushing forward, trying to get just the bottommost of the sticker to push and not mangle it. And we have a screw hole. So there was a hidden screw back there. Instead of the sticker getting further mangled, I've been saving some rubber feet on just a piece of wax paper. So I'm going to put the sticker on that wax paper and we'll try to preserve it. Get that thing back on later. All right. I promise you that I'm not sponsored by iFixit, but I can certainly tell you that I recently got this iFixit Mako screwdriver kit, and it's totally had me burning to open everything I can open and just fix things. I've opened controllers, I've opened into my dual cassette deck and fixed the second deck. So I've been feeling a little handy. And with this thing, I can be a little handy. So it looks like what we're looking for here is a very small Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to start with the smallest here. This is a 000, PH000. So let's give it a feel. That feels a little bit loose. I'm going to try for the 00. I don't know if the pH means anything other than that it's a Phillips head, but this is PH00. A little bit bigger. That seems like it sits in there better, but just for fun, what's the 0 feel like? About the same. I'm going to go with the slightly smaller one. This is going to be the 00. Click it in. And see what we can do. It's slipping a bit. I don't want to strip it. Let's go even smaller. This is going back to the 000. This is trial and error, people. Trial and error. Just gotta work it a little bit. It's really in there. And I've had it come out a couple of times, come out of the Phillips hole. I don't want to strip it. I'm feeling movement though. I'm just kind of tightening and loosening it. Just get a little motion in there. All right, we got movement. All right. Another good thing about the lid of the iFixit thing, the iFixit Mako set, it's got a grid. Plastic molded grid in there. And why should you care about a grid? That's why. You're able to keep all your parts where you need them. So I'm going to throw that in there. Screw number 2. I don't know if there's other loose screws or what's going on. This one's got movement right away. Not locked up like the other one. Living under that sticker all that time made him lazy. Didn't want to come out. This one is unscrewing. I don't know if this is a super long screw or what's happening here. I feel like it's just spinning. So let me see if there's any kind of movement on the separation of this thing. Maybe a little bit. It definitely feels looser. This is opening up a bit. I don't know. I'd like to get that out of there entirely. See if I can... I'm just kind of pushing out. Get some outward pressure. See if that helps at all. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm not sure. It is turning. It's not stuck. It's not slipping. But it's not moving any further than this. So it is... Huh. So I gotta wonder now that those are undone if it is just the clip system as mentioned before. And that we can undo it with a prying tool. In this case, a Dunlop prying tool. It's hard to get it started. Oh, here we go. This seems to be like a good separation point. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but that was a little bit of a cracking sound. I have one of these art knives for painting and stuff. Just plastic. This could be a good place to use it though. If I can shimmy it in there. As you can see, it's really bendy though, so I'm not able to put pressure with it. But if I could just create a gap with it, that may be enough. The thicker plastic pick seems to do it. And go back to that area. Was it this corner? I think it was this corner. Yeah, we got a little bit of a pop there. A little bit of a pop. We're going to keep working it in. All right. We got separation. So there are clips along the top. Looks like by the battery and the audio here. We got a little bit of clip action going. Sorry if the angle is not the best. Literally my first video. Literally my first video, so I'll figure it out in time. But there, that's a little bit better. So we got clips here by the battery and over here by the audio. And just getting that guitar pick in there and pushing the clip separated it. Don't know. I think the battery has to be unclipped. Might work either way. Got that unclipped. That came out. It's got a pin in there. We don't want to lose that pin. Put the battery case there. Okay. The other side's held up. Could also be clips. I'm going to see if I can just move it around a little bit. I don't want to break any clips, but if I got one side open, I might be able to shimmy it. Alright. That is the outlet cover. It is not threaded, so it did not screw in there. It looks like it just pops in there. And we have it open. It looks like the top part is just a shell. There's no kind of cables or anything connecting the two, so that's good to know. And we got a giant battery compartment which takes up most of this. Is this just a switch cover? It appears that that is just a cover for the switch. Don't know if it matters which way it faces. Is there a difference? Sort of popped off before I could get a good look at it. I think it's the same. That looks center. I don't see any difference on either side, so we got that. Just a plain switch in here. 5-piece selector switch. Okay. And here we have the switch that's the problem. And I don't know how well you can see this. Let's see where the focus happens. Can I focus this? Right about there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but that is a dirty switch. There's gunk and there's hair in there and all kinds of stuff. Whether or not that's the source of the problem, I don't know, but it is in there. So let's see. Here's the battery compartment. It looks like that'll lift out. We'll be gentle. It's on the other side here. So it's put in here with a spring. Again, not sure how well this is going to show on camera, but it runs, looks like, leads from the battery. They kind of go from this side over here down and right. And that's holding this in. And this piece is just a piece of rubber. It looks like it might house this thing. I don't know if that's part of the wireless system here or not, like a transmitter, but that's the only thing that was in there. And let's see. 3 notches here. I don't know if that's supposed to align with anything, but the 3 notches are towards the input. Oh yeah, I can see it down here. There is a little bit of molding for those 3 notches to sit in. So that's how that's going to go back. I'm not sure how necessary it's going to be for me to remove the batteries, the battery compartment. It would make it a lot easier, but I don't know how necessary that's going to be. If I can easily lift this out, I will, just for simplicity's sake. I'm going to switch the switch all the way over to get that out of the way, and then see if we can pop this battery off. They look like the only thing they're soldered to is those leads. So we got to make sure to not break those solder joints. And they are soldered directly to the board down here. So it's not something I could just pull off, it looks like. I mean, this is really good enough. I'm being greedy at this point, trying to get more access. If I can slide it out from underneath. There we go. All right, so it was kind of like a scooping motion to get it out from the metal and away. So now we are in the belly of the beast. There's a piece of 3M tape here, not 311. Amber is the color of your energy and all that. And here we have the switch. Again, I don't know if you can see it, but there is hair and gunk and all kinds of stuff in there. This is not a close focusing lens, unfortunately. It's the closest it'll focus, but I'll try to give you a look here. Maybe I can zoom in and post for you. And that's what we're looking at. So I think first, grab some tweezers. I'm going to get the fine point tweezers hooked, get some fancy like that, and see about pulling out some of that gunk in the switch. So we have fabric or some kind of dust or something. So we got to pull all of that out of there. There's actually quite a bit of it built up. Whatever it is. The hair that was stuck in there. I could feel resistance when I pulled it. This clip looks a little Little wonky. Might be broken there. Don't know if I can get that out of there. If I can get this out of the shell entirely, that would be useful. I'm guessing that's what that other screw does that wasn't wanting to play ball here. Yep, that's what it is, and it's spinning on that black post there. So I'm going to try to grab onto that with straight gripped tweezers. Maybe that'll be enough resistance. Nah, it's spinning in there still. I'm gonna need something close to needle nose pliers. Something I can get more of a fine grip on. Let me go grab needle nose. All right, let's take a look in a book. Reading Rainbow. Alright, these are some rusty old ones, but hopefully they'll do the trick. All I'm doing is grabbing that plastic post. I'm going to squeeze hard, but not too hard. Hopefully not to a failure point of the plastic. And we're going to unscrew. I slipped off. Not rotating anymore. That plastic bit, I mean. Here we go. Alright, finally. It is a pretty long screw. Much longer than the first ones. Sorry if you didn't see any of that. These great camera angles. But, so a longer screw, we got that out. So, you know, I may be mistaken. It looks like the same screw. All right. And now we are free to remove it from the backing. This 3M stuff, I'm not sure if it's just supposed to serve as some kind of insulation or something. But there it is. Still in the needle nose pliers is that little barrel piece. We're going to need that when we put it back. Take a look at it. It looks like it's the same on both sides, so I don't think it matters how you put it back in. But I'll find out. And then we'll continue to look at the switch. Yeah, it's very grimy underneath. I'm going to remove the plastic cover that I assume just pulls off. If not, I'm not going to force it, but yeah, I'm not going to force it. It may, but it's not completely necessary. And it also might be affixed on there, so I'm not sure. Just going to kind of scrape some of this gunk off using the guitar pick. Really trying to be soft with things here. Might be a little bit of corrosion here. Nothing to worry about, I don't think. It's coming from those battery leads. I mean, it's very, very minor if it's anything. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. What I am going to do is bring in the big guns. We're talking Q-tips today. We're going to go Q-tips. I'm going to go isopropyl alcohol. I got two different kinds. In this case, I'm going to go for the 91%. I also have the 70%, but we're going for the strong stuff. Go for that. And I'll tell you a tool that has been a lifesaver for me. A toothbrush. Getting a soft toothbrush has been the biggest game changer. You could softly, with no problems, go over boards and stuff like that. You can clean contacts, throw a little isopropyl on there and mix it around, cleaning contacts, cleaning dust and gunk. Little bristles get into spots that the Q-tips and stuff won't. In this case, it's got like rubber things on the side. I don't love it, but that's the one I have. Hasn't been a problem. But anyway, if you don't have a toothbrush for non-toothbrush reasons, highly recommended. Grab a container. I got this container from a friend. And it's just a little gray container. And there's already some isopropyl in there, but this is what I use. And yeah, let's see what we can do. I'm hoping just a little bit of cleaning and taking a look at it might be enough. So first I'm going to start with Q-tip. Drop one on the floor, pour one out for the homies. Let me go ahead, where are we at here? Give it a dip. And then I'm just going to go around the outside here. Already the Q-tip itself is picking up gunk. So that gives me hope that there was just something interrupting it. Give it another little dip. The good thing about isopropyl is it evaporates quickly and you can clean electronics with it. See, there's a big bit of fuzz right there. Get in there with the fine tweezers and pull it out. That's half a rabbit right there. The hair here. I don't think Nick needs the hair. Probably toss that out. Right, here's the other side of the Q-tip. Give the Q-tip a Q-dip. We get back to it. And as you use the Q-tip, some will drip out of it down in there. That's what you want. Or at least that's what I want. And I'm just trying to clean it, flip the switch and clean it. You know, if there's any place I'm not accessing with one position, I'll flip it to the other position. The solder joints don't look loose to me. Really would like to get this switch cap off if possible. It seems like it comes off. There we go. All right. We're into the switch itself. Now we're talking. Now we can get in here. There's a bunch of gunk and stuff on the outside of this board. We're going to go ahead and clean all that up. Little low on the alcohol here. Let's go ahead and give it a fill. Dr. Phil. Grab a fresh Q-tip. Give it a dip. Then switch it. One thing to note about using Q-tips is watch to not leave cotton behind. Sometimes it'll catch a solder point or something and it'll rip a shred of cotton out. So be sure to clean up after your Q-tip usage. Probably not just in electronics, but good life advice as well. The fun part is going to be remembering how all this goes back together. Alright. I'm going to douse it. Really get the rubbing alcohol in there. Really get it in there. Do it again with the switch in the other position. Really get it in there. Let it drip in. And then we're going to flip the switch a bunch. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Something else I found useful, I don't know if it will be in this case, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. This is for cleaning camera sensors, camera lenses. It's a little air blower. You can get a good amount of air in a small spot. This is just a cheap one that came with one of the like gimme sort of extras with the camera. But any kind of dust, debris, or anything that I can really get out of there, I'd like to do that. Trying to do it underneath where it contacts as well. Alright, I feel pretty confident in that for now. Now I'm going to take the toothbrush, dip just the top half of it. It holds a surprising amount, so I'll flick a little bit off here, like it cut me off in traffic or something. Then I'm just gonna brush the general area, as you do. Flip the switch and brush. Try to get to the other side here. And I'm not applying too much pressure. I just want the bristles to get in there, and if there's debris or something, touch it enough to pull it out. I'm not trying to grind away or anything. I'm going to give it another little dip real quick. Brush off the excess. And right on the other side of where the switch is, these are the solder points. So in case there's anything weird or something like that, again, I moved it a little, tried to move it a little, and it seems pretty well soldered in. So if there's a problem with the switch beyond what I'm trying to fix now, it's got to be within the switch itself. Something I can't get to, and hopefully this will do the trick, but we'll see. So again, isopropyl on this, and we're going to brush over the solder area and the board. Just give it a cleaning here. Not much pressure. And I don't know if these numbers will mean anything to anybody or if I can even read them. But on this chip, it's an L15/L10. I'm not going to take it off to read what's under there. This chip here appears to be a PCM 1803A, and underneath that, a 46013M. And this tiny guy here looks like it says 0C2400 or something like that. It's very small. And the other numbers are 1349KAA and then a space B. So anybody that's working on one of these, if any of this comes in handy for you, there you go. I don't know if that helps, but... And then this thing here, I can't really read it. But anyway, I feel like the switch is now in better condition than when we opened this up. Whether or not that does the trick, I don't know. Sadly, I gotta be honest, I don't have a soldering iron. I don't own one. So if that's part of the issue where this has to be desoldered and inspected and stuff, unfortunately I don't have the equipment to do it. I don't have the know-how to do it, but I would be bold enough to try if I had a soldering iron. But it may not even come to that. I'm feeling pretty good about what we've done here already. I think we're just about ready to start getting this thing back together. That's going to be the hard part, possibly. You're going to hear me saying, how did I go? So that's it. This is what's inside of one of the wireless units. Again, this is the Line 6 Relay G30 TBP06 transmitter that we're in right now. So with things cleaned up a bit, I think I'm going to give the selector switch a quick rubbing while we're in here as well. All right, I feel good about that. Rubbing alcohol aside, alcohol, and let's try to remember how this works. This is the back, inputs on that side. I believe it's sat in here, and the switch sits up here. So I gotta get that switch on before. I think it's symmetrical. It looks symmetrical. I might as well clean that too. Alright, let's see. I believe it's symmetrical from what I can tell. So I'm going to get that in there. This side here has a slight indent, and that actually might just be the way it was molded. Oh, they both do. On opposite sides. This one's here and the other one's on the bottom over here. I don't think it matters. I think it's just molding quality from the factory. So we'll get that in there. Get the needle nose back. Get that weird barrel thing. And a screw. So this is the screw that we removed. That goes through the board up through here. And that's where we needed this barrel. Probably a technical term for it that I don't know. But I'm going to try to get it set up in here. Let's see. I feel like these tweezers don't have enough gripping power for this specific task. So I'm going to go ahead and get it lined up in here. You know what? Maybe starting with the tweezers might be the trick. Gotta love working with small parts. I might even have to go to the super tiny tweezers here just to get that in place properly. Once it gets started, I think we'll be okay. I don't know if it's lined up, but I'm going for it. Come on, give me grip. Okay, it looks like it's on there but spinning. So at this point, I'm going to go with the needle nose pliers. Get a good grip. All right, and we're in tight. It's looking good. All right. What was next here? I think the battery case. Hopefully this will scoop in the same way it's scooped out just as easily. All right, we got it in. Okay, these are the 3 notches I noted before that go into this piece. Yes, yes. It's going too smoothly. What am I missing? The battery case, I didn't see how it came off. But I have a feeling you just need both parts to be there. This hole here, I'm imagining that's got to be for the bar on this. So I'm going to wait until I get to the other half. This is the selector switch for the front. Just kind of sits on there. Yeah, it feels the same both ways. I don't think it matters too much. It's way looser than you would expect it to be. You know, there's no like firm grip when you put it on. But that's just how it is. Just lift it off. So we got that in there. This is the metal cover. It goes into the jack. And it's interesting because in the jack itself, it almost looks threaded here. I'm not sure how well you can see that. But it almost looks threaded, yet it's not. This just fits on there. And this is not metal, I believe. Magnetic screwdriver. No, it's just plastic. Just chrome painted plastic. Should have guessed by the matching chrome painted plastic switch that we are fiddling with. We'll come back to that. Now I'm wondering if I should have put this on before. Oh, wait, I see a notch. I don't know if that notch is anything. This is really just a cover. So there we go. Looks like it popped into place. There's no kind of screwing action here. That's on the OnlyFans. Okay. This thing needs to stay on. Alright. Now we come to the battery compartment. I'm going to drop the hinge in there. That seems right. Now we have the face cover. It's going to go this way. Is that everything? Got a screw for the back that we got to put on still. Like I said, there's a questionable tab over here. Might have to apply some glue or something. But let's see what we can do. Hoping this will just clip together. Let's look. The first clips we got were by battery and audio, so I want those to be the last clips. Let's try to do this in reverse order entirely. These clips, which one was the weird one? This is the weird one over here, right by the battery door, unfortunately. But maybe the battery door will keep it going too crazy. Okay. I'm going to start to go around and apply pressure at the corners. That clipped into place. That feels like a good positive snap. Give it a good squeeze. Alright. I think that's it. If it's not, I don't think there's anything else I can do without a soldering iron. We'll put this last screw in. Alright, last screw is in. So you know what that means, other than putting this thing back on. It's going to be the moment of truth here in a second. Oh, I see why this was tricky. Alright, if I'm looking at this right, a little tip here. It looks like it arcs a little bit. You can't see anything because my hand's blocking everything. Looks like it arcs a little bit, like this. So there's tension on it. So I believe when you put it on, you have to press down on both sides to get that to flatten and then slide it up. That's what it's looking like. Because if I put one side in, the other side lifts off. And then vice versa. So I'm going to hold both sides in and attempt to slide it up. Up, right? I think so. You know what? Actually, I'm incorrect. It looks like it slides in and then to the right. I don't know. Let's take a look for a second. It's lifted here to where there's a space underneath it, as you can see. But the bottom one is solid. Yeah, bottom one's solid. But both of these on the other side have that concave to them. I believe he had it on this side here. Maybe it was this side here. I apologize, Nick, if this is wrong. I think this is correct. So we go down, put tension down, and then we gotta slide up. Tension, tension, slide. All right, that felt good. It's a good grip. Now, Nicholas, the moment of truth. Gonna open it up. Clean those off real quick. I believe they go like this. Could be wrong. We got nothing so far. Okay. Let's take a look at these batteries again. This one's positive, and that one's negative. I think that's it. Put it in. All right. That's looking pretty solid. No interruptions. And I mean, you gotta put it to the test. But I gotta say, it's looking good. I know that light is looking a little bit green. It's supposed to be blue. I think my white balance might just be off on the camera. But we'll turn it off. Turn it on. And I think we're in luck. So Nick, I hope this helps you out. Hopefully this will have some longevity, and cleaning it up a bit brought new life into it for a while. And to anybody else that's watching this video for whatever reason, thank you for checking it out. This is my first repair video. Again, I don't really know much about what I'm doing, but I find it interesting. And I want to do more of it. I want to get my use out of my new iFixit screwdrivers, so I need to fix it. Anyway, this was a repair on the Line 6 Relay G30 TRP06 transmitter that had a little bit of a funky switch. Thanks for watching. And you thought we were done. Yeah, I did too. But some of you might be wondering what happened to the sticker. So, I don't know how well it's going to stay on, but for continuity's sake, I threw the camera back on so we can put the sticker on together. Should have did this before I put the clip on down here, but I think we can manage. If not, the clip's not too big of a deal to get off again. You know what? Let's be smart and just do it. Let's take the clip off. Do it the right way. And it lays just in this little recess here. Get something soft. Just use this for the Q-tips I use. Just kind of give it a pressing. And there, sticker's on. Anyway, for all of you wondering about the sticker that could not sleep without watching it be reapplied, it has been reapplied. Now we get to do this fun thing again. It is a tricky one. And there it is. With that click, we'll test it again. It is on. It is blinking. Shaking it around. You got power. Thanks for checking it out.